Satisfy your need for happiness through your own curiosity with the Ranveer Show. My question to you now is about the South America angle because it's come up on the show.
Yeah.
Where is this South America angle written about in the texts?
Okay. No, great question. It's written in multiple places. But when we are narrating something, we have to start somewhere. So let's take that point as the time of King Bali. So in the Dashavatar series, the Vaman, the Vaman avatar. And Bali, Mahabali, or sometimes known as a Bali, was a very virtuous king, sort of in the southern part, you can say, southern part of our modern day India. But it could be broad. It could have influence over Indonesia. We just don't know that. And he was so powerful, like Abhyuday. He has made such a prosperity that almost the other side is envious of it. Other side meaning within Indian context, I'm saying. And then they go to Vaman and says, do something about it. And I will not go into that story, but to bring it back to the Patal. So the story goes like this, and people should read it with all their previous spectacles removed, like with a very objective fashion. They will get this. It's there in Bhagavad Puran. So he subdues King Bali. Vamana subdues King Bali. And we'll not again go to the detail because I want to take you to Patal. And then he is essentially kept in a house arrest. Okay, so he's given a freedom, but he's kept in a house arrest because he has such a great influence on his population. So they cannot be just gotten rid of, so to say. And that house arrest, based on my understanding, was in Indonesia, where we call today the Bali, possibly.
Oof.
Now, Bhagavad Puran and many other Puranas go on to tell, and even some stray references come in Mahabharata and Ramayana also. So this incident is long before 14,000 years. The stray reference comes where after some time, the restrictions on Bali were removed. We have the description of that. But then Bali did not return. That's what it says. He went further to Patal. Now, if you just take a straight line and the navigation, you said speculated navigation. Actually, we don't have to speculate. The archaeology, the dirt archaeology, we have evidence of dirt archaeology of sophisticated ports in India, like say Tamil Nadu, Pumpuhar, going back to 20,000 plus years. So that was there. So now he went there. Now he went to Patal. That's all it says. And then he established various colonies, Sutala, Atala, Talatala, Rasatala, and many colonies like that. Now, if you take, then the sort of a narration breaks down because after that there is not much description. The descriptions do come as how opulent and prosperous that land is. And now that after the Spaniards, it's very hard to believe that that is the case. But actually, if you look at their archaeological history and other history, it is, I've been there many times.
You've been to South America?
Many, many times. I mean, I speak broken Spanish, enough to get around myself alone, every country, multiple times. But you see, for example, Peru, they have 400, they not have now. In the ancient times, they developed 400 varieties of potatoes. And they know which potato to plant at which height and so on. If you look at the names, you will find some fascinating things. For example, so Bali did not return, went further to Patal. Now this is the relationship. Bali's great-great-grandfather is not immediate father, but it looks like as if he's a father, grandfather. No, not really. Many generations in between. He's a Virochana. Virochana, Prahlad, if those are the names. Now, in South America, there is a story that somebody came from across the land, across the ocean to civilize us. And do you know what is the name of that person? Viracocha. Now,
wow.
If you see the spelling, it can be Virochana, literally. Viracocha. And he civilized us. That is what the belief there is. So in the South America, the Incas, but you come further up to the Mexico and all that area. They have many stories like this. Another one, in the Mexico, there are these people are called Aztecas. Aztecas. Now that has to do with Agastya, but also Aztec, the sages.
Oh, damn!
And think of the snakes. Like as a child, forgive me. As a child, when I grew up in Konkan, halfway between Mumbai and Goa, and we used to see lots of snakes. And our elders used to say, maybe to get rid of our fear, if you see a snake, just say Aztec, Aztec, Aztec. 3 times, and the snake will not do anything to you. Usually snake doesn't do anything to you. But that sage Astic is connected with the Nagas. Now Nagas, just like the Rakshasas, were human beings. They are mentioned in the Mahabharata very well. That's how the New Delhi, the Indraprastha was established, by getting rid of the Nagas, so to say, by burning the Khandava forest. So the sage who was connected with the Naga as individuals, we have so many names Naga everywhere in the Andhra Pradesh if you go today, and Kerala, by the way. So those people also migrated there, possibly with a Bali. And that's why you see all the symbolisms of the, now Chinese call it dragon, because they took that route, by the way, going there. And also the sea route, but also through Alaska. And so these Aztecas, the word is Aztecas. Again, they refer to that person as someone who came and civilized them. But something more fascinating, Ramayana is aware of that land. Mahabharata is aware of it, but Mahabharata actually less so. But Ramayana, Sugriv knows so much about that land. I'll just give you an idea. Sugriva's Atlas is my talk series. So when all the Vanara parties, who are also human beings, by the way, jokingly I say the people of Karnataka, because that's where the Kishkinda capital was. So 4 parties, the Vanara parties, they are going in the 4 different directions. And Sugriva is giving them the landmarks, just like go there and take a left turn at a D-Mart, we will say in modern times in Mumbai. He says, go there, you will find this. So I'll just give you the east direction, take you to the Patal. Now he doesn't say Patal, he doesn't use the word Patal. But he says, okay, start there in the center of India. Then you will go to the land of silver, that is the Thailand area. Then the Yavadvip, so Ropyadvip, Yavadvip, that is the land of Yava, the grains, that is the Java. The Java has come from Yava. Then he keeps on describing many islands. Then he says, after that, you will see the ocean. That is possibly many oceans, but the Pacific. Once you cross this, now this is when it gets extremely fascinating. Once you cross it, you are going to come to the area of a Lord Anantadev. And in that area, to mark the flag of Ananta, just like Arjuna has his own flag and Bhima has his own flag, that flag is inscribed on the surface of the stone, surface of the mountain. And he describes how that mountain is. I'm going to say this to you. Trishira Kanchanas Ketu Talastasya Mahatmana Sthapita Parvatasyagre Virajati Savedika. I will split it. Trishira, like a trident. Trishira Kanchana, gold, shining like a gold, yellow color. Ketu, like a pillar, like a flag, Trishira Kanchanas Ketus Talas Tasya Mahatmana. Tal meaning like a pole, like a structure, like a, palm tree, something is there. Big structure. Mahatmana. Trishira Kanchanas Ketus Talas Tasya Mahatmana Sthapita Parvatasyagre. It has been established at the front of a mountain. Virajati Savedika, with the Veda Bhumi, like a Yajna Bhumi, like a rectangle is there at the bottom of it. Now, why is this big deal? Just like that Arundhati Vasishta. Because today you can go to Peru, and on the west coast, of course, the coast is only on the west side, you can near the Bay of Paracas, you can see a trident-like structure. It's known as the candelabra of Andes. And you can have that picture in front of you. I've given many talks on it. And you can have this Ramayana verse next to you. And you can see 1:1 correspondence, not even a single detail missing. Now, when Spaniards came there, they asked, like, when they saw the structure, they said, did you do it? I said, no, we didn't do it. The locals there. He said, what about your grandparents? No, it was always there. They said it was always there. So nobody, the locals also don't know, the memory possibly lost. But Ramayana not only describes the structure, Ramayana tells you in the next shloka who made it, why it was made, when it was made. Purvasya Adishi Nirmanam, just like we have an international day line that goes through the Pacific. To establish the end of a east direction, just like today we say Japan, somewhere we have to start it, right? Somewhere we have to end it. Purvasya Adishi Nirmanam, Krutan Trat Tri Dasheshware. Indra is the deity of the east direction. Indra established it there. And when was it done? It was done in a Kruta Yuga, that is to say long time before Ramayana. Well, the reference is in Ramayana, so it has to be before Ramayana. So that description comes, no mention of Patal, but if you go to Puranas, you say which Puranas? Almost all Puranas, but Bhagavad Purana is a good one, Vishnu Purana is a good one, Ramayana is a good one, where Ravana goes there. Like Shurpanakha is actually been married, Ravana's sister, and has gone to South America. Kalakeya, or I forgot her husband's name.
Actually, so hold on. Let's pull it up
Correct,
on the
correct.
screen. This is a lot of data.
Yes, yes.
And I would actually like to see it. What was the name of the mountain?
It's called Candelabra, Candle, bra like candle stand, Candelabra of Andes. This one.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
a real thing.
Yes.
It exists in the stone.
Yeah, and now if I sing that again, okay, it's like almost 800 feet tall.
Damn.
Okay, Trishira, Kanchana, golden, Ketu, Talastasya Mahatmana, Sthapita Parvatasya at the top of the mountain stone.
What the?
And just look at the bottom. Virajati Savedikaha. You see the rectangle at the bottom?
Yeah.
Like a Yajna Bhumi, we call that Vedika. Virajati Savedika.
So the locals don't know how far back this dates.
Correct.
It's lost knowledge.
They don't know who created. They
It's
don't know why it was created.
But it's described in the Puranas.
Ramayana.
Damn.
And it's not like Ramayana is described somewhere and we are somehow making the dots. No. Starting with India, going in the east direction, after going through Thailand, Myanmar and Indonesia, then the crossing the ocean, and now you come at the land, and this is where it is.
I wonder what the designs symbolize, because it seems like it contains some meaning.
Huh.
The Trishul, it's obvious.
Yes.
And again, Trishuls are not just related to Shiva or Mata. It's an ancient part of culture.
It's even a weapon, right? Think of it.
What do Trishuls signify? Because it's there in Greek culture as well. Poseidon's.
Everywhere.
What meaning does it have in our culture?
I mean, it's a weapon, right? It's a very effective weapon. Like those people who have worked with the snakes, they might know that the kamberu. You know the word kamberu? It goes like this. I mean, I have killed many snakes.
You've killed snakes.
I have to, right? They come inside the house, right? During the rainy season. But there is a certain way it allows to hold. So this one is like a three-prong, right? So at least one of them will do the job,
right?
When you throw at someone.
Have you ever wondered about what those designs mean?
No, I haven't gone that far.
But do you think it could mean something?
See, what the description is, it is the insignia of Ananta. But I'm going to give you one more surprise there. Okay? So the shlok comes there. We can pull the shlok also if you want. Okay, so go to valmikiramayana.net.
That's a website?
Yeah.
Valmiki Ramayana.
Whole Valmiki Ramayana is there.
Okay, let me just read out the English translation.
Yeah.
On that Shalmali island in Wine Ocean, you will be seeing the mansion of Vinata's son named Garuda, the eagle vehicle of Vishnu, which is decorated with numerous jewels and which in sheen will be like Mount Kailash, the abode of Shiva. This mansion is construction of Vishwakarma, the heavenly architect.
So the mansion was there. Archaeologists have not found it, or it might have been destroyed, But go to the next one. Now this Rakshasa begins, okay? Tasya Shaila Nibha Bhima Mandeha Nama Rakshasa Shaila Shrungeshu Lambante Nana Rupa Bhayavaha. There are 3 types of vampire bats that are found in the fossilized.
Just let me give one more piece of context here.
Yeah.
We had Ami Ganatra on the show, who I felt was one of the premier experts on both Ramayana and Mahabharata. And she constantly keeps highlighting Valmiki's Ramayana as the only Ramayana that should be referenced when it comes to even storytelling. And this is all based on Valmiki's Ramayana. Okay, so this is as much proof as you can have as a Sanatani.
Yes.
Now let's go on.
Okay. So now you can read the translation for verse 41.
Therefore, thereabout, horrifying and merciless demons of various shapes and similar to mountains in size, called Mandehas, will be dangling upside down from mountain peaks.
Who is dangling upside down?
Bats.
Right? Now, so sometime, I wouldn't say exaggeration, but embellishments like mountain in size, maybe it's like a mountain. In fact, their color is like a ash color, like a mountain stone color, So not always mountain size. They're not that big. But embellishment can happen. Now people may remember because of this.
Or perhaps, when we talk about megafauna, they say that all the animals that we see around us, only 1% of the animals that have ever existed.
Which is very true.
And they constantly talk about megafauna being prevalent in unexplored lands. Like Australia has a lot of megafauna even today. The big birds.
Correct.
The kangaroos are megafauna in so many ways. But if you study zoology, megafauna was extremely prevalent in Australia. And I'm sure it was prevalent in South America because of Galapagos Islands also.
Exactly. I would agree. And also the biggest extinction of them happened in 11,000 BC.
After Younger Dryas.
Yeah, around that time. Exactly during the Younger Dryas. beginning of a younger dryas.
Damn.
Possible. Yeah. And Graham Hancock talks about it. But I have Quaternary Extinction, a book this thick, and it just goes on and on. We can talk about the 4 tusk elephants, but we'll come to that are also described in Ramayana.
Okay, the first half of this episode, I was just in a very active brain zone. Right now, my skin is active. I'm just getting goosebumps with like every sentence.
Yeah, but
Go
let's
on.
complete this first, okay?
Go on,
Then
go
we'll
on,
come
sir.
to 4 tusk elephants. Okay, so you understand that although it is called Rakshasa, in reality it is a bat, okay? Now, go down, yeah. Te patanti jale nityam suryasya udayanam prati. When the morning happens, they go up there, look at the shadow and catch their prey. You can read if you want the day after day.
Day after day, those demons will be falling in water when sun always burns them at sunrise. And when the impetus of Gayatri hymn fells them down, yet they will be resurfacing and dangling on the mountain day after day. Seems a lot like some kind of giant bats.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
Now today, with the remaining, whatever we have remaining, the megafauna 99% being extinct, but even with what we have, right now we have 3 varieties of these bats, vampire bats in South America. Now, we have watched too many vampire movies. So we think vampire bats are everywhere around the world. No, most of them, they eat animals and insects and all, and then fruits and whatnot. But the vampire bats, in the sense of blood-sucking bats, in the whole world, they are only available right now in South America. Okay, so this is very solid evidence for that, by the way. Okay, now go down. Okay, keep on going down. We skip slowly. Yeah, okay. Just let me read that. Okay, so Shweto Rushabho Nama Parvata, white Rushabha Parvata. This is referring to Andes, by the way.
You're talking about this 44B?
44 first line, yeah, 44 first line. In the center of that milk ocean, there is a white mountain of colossal size.
Named Rishab, surrounded with closely growing trees ever flowered with flowers of heavenly fragrance.
Yeah.
And a lake renowned as Lake Sudarshan is also there.
Go to Amazon, go to Bolivia, Peru. Beautiful.
Which is replete with silvery lotuses whose fibrils are golden in sparkle and which kingly swans will be scampering about.
Yeah. Well, now go to the next one. Skip 46. It's not that relevant. Okay. Keep on going down. I'll tell you. Yeah.
Damn, how deep have you gone in this stuff, sir?
Well, you full stop. But I wanted to show. Okay, here, 51. Okay. Can you bring up? Yeah. Okay. So stick there. 52. And you can read the whole translation, but I'll read 52.
Sure.
Now we are talking of Andes Mountain. We are going to talk of the structure in the verse 53 that I just read, and we saw the candelabra of Andes. But just before that, it is saying this structure that we saw is the insignia for the Ananta, which is verse 52. Asinam parvatasya agre sarva bhuta namaskrutam sahasra shirasam devam anantam nila vasasam. Anantam. And Sahasra Shirsha is what? All the peaks of Andes. That's what the analogy is. Okay.
There you shall see then, O Vanar, the lotus petal, broad-eyed, thousand-hooded serpent god in black clothing. The lotus petal, broad-eyed, thousand-hooded serpent god in black clothing named Ananta sitting on top of that mountain. That's what the symbol was. And sustaining the earth on his head, who will be like moon in his brilliance and whom all beings hold in reverence.
They all will have a meaning. We'll ignore it for the,
Sure.
for brevity.
I think it's describing the symbol.
For brevity. But something else I want to tell you. So the next one is the insignia is given, which we already discussed. But now what I want you to do is go to search function. So remember Ananta. Okay. Ananta is referred to the Andes mountain with its Sahasra heads as each peak.
Right.
Now go to search and type Mount Ananta in Andes. Okay. So it will come like a cerro. Okay. So yeah.
Yes.
Now story is very similar to this candelabra of Andes. Now what can happen? The Western world came in contact with South America in the recent times only 500 years ago. So 2 possibilities. Either somebody from Spain or Western Europe who has studied Ramayana very well or Indian literature has been fascinated with the name Ananta, went to South America, and one of the peak he gave the name Ananta. That's one possibility. What is the other possibility? We have a description next to the trident in Valmiki Ramayana. That name was there from the beginning. And I have gone through the searching for it. By the way, let me give the credit where it is due. One of the person, Mitra Desai, that I mentioned, who is in Australia, and she has written a novelette called Flag of Ananta based on this research. And she discovered this Mount Ananta. Not my discovery, but it is there in Valmiki Ramayana.
Descriptions about South America.
Name, we don't have to do a guesswork. And if you look at it, like, if you say, okay, who gave the name? Like, which Spaniard gave the name? You come across saying, this is a native Indian language. Indian meaning those Indians there. Quechua or Aymara, those are the languages. It comes from there. Bottom line, nobody knows. Well, Ramayana knows.
Dear archaeologists. I mean, see, this is where a lot of people get stumped. I'm talking about academia,
Right.
In specific.
Yes.
Where they don't have responses to this.
They will call it coincidence. But how many coincidences you need?
If you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out these curated playlists that we've made especially for you related to the subject that was spoken about in this clip.